wanted to show this. Passive cash flow equals freedom. Let's say it again. Passive cash flow equals freedom. I truly believe this. This is one of my guiding principles with everything that I do. Every decision that I make, it's, will this get me more passive cash flow? Will this decision affect my passive cash flow? And if the answer is that it negatively affects my passive cash flow, I won't do the deal. Or if I can't see a pathway to how it's going to assist with my passive cash flow, I won't do that deal. If I think there's too much risk in a deal, I just won't do that deal, because passive cash flow equals freedom. I do not want to impact my passive cash flow. I do not want to impact my lifestyle. I have been working since I was 28 years old with the guiding premise that I needed to earn enough passive cash flow to, number one, cover my living expenses, so that, number two, I could choose when to work, how to work, with which clients to work, with which investors to work, and with which deals I should be investing in. And the third thing is, I wanted to improve upon the experiences in my life. I wanted my lifestyle to improve. And I could get that with passive cash flow, because then passive cash flow would cover my lifestyle expenses and my active income could be gravy. The fourth thing I wanted to do with passive cash flow, after I reached my passive cash flow that was covering my living expenses, I wanted to use that passive cash flow to reinvest in new deals. And so I reinvest in new deals with the passive cash flow I have. And then the last thing I really wanted to do with passive cash flow was set up a legacy. And for me, setting up a legacy means guiding my children on money. It means making sure that my wife is taken care of in case something happens. It means setting up the people I love to be able to function without me, without having to think much. It also means helping the causes I believe in. So my wife and I believe in charities that give back for shelter, for water, and then also for education related to athletes. And so one of the things that we try to do is help those people who might need food, water, and shelter. And what we also try to do is give back to those organizations that are also providing for youth athletes who are getting educated. And so these are important things. I want to make sure that what I'm doing now makes the world a little bit easier for those I love and for the causes I care about. And so those are the things that I'm doing. But without this, without passive cash flow, I wouldn't have freedom. I wouldn't have freedom on my time. I wouldn't have freedom to decide what I want to do. I wouldn't have the freedom to be sitting here in my beautiful office, aka my car, and be chatting with you about what's important. What's important for me is making sure that I can invest in good deals, that I can provide good cash flow with upside potential for my investors, that I can provide fantastic service for my multifamily and commercial real estate clients who trust me to provide financing for the buildings that they own. Freedom also means me being able to jump on a plane when we're allowed to do that again, and going on a vacation. It means being able to indulge in the experiences that I want to indulge in. And it means being able to provide my family with a level of comfort that they should have. And that makes life easier for them. It makes life easier for my kids in the future, so that they can set themselves up with a base and then be able to grow that base. And so this is why I think passive cash flow equals freedom. You're never going to hear me say anything other than that, because I believe the more passive cash flow that you can get, the better off you will be long term, and the better you will be at being able to provide for yourself, for your loved ones, and for the causes that you care about. And I also believe that passive cash flow is something that everyone should be striving for. Regardless of whether you're working on your first $100 of passive cash flow per year, or whether you're working on getting $100 million of passive cash flow a year. The goal is keep working on it, keep focusing on it, because it is important for your life, for your family's life, for your loved one's life and for the causes that you care about long term. So on that note, hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and also feel free to send this video to people who you think might benefit from it, because this is a goal that most people should have. Try and get as much passive cash flow as you can, not just money for money's sake, but so that you can have freedom, so that you can have financial security, so that you can have financial independence, because that's what passive cash flow means. On that note, let's continue growing our passive cash flow and net worth together. I'll see you on the next video.